Hey there! Max Joseph is the first filmmaker who joins my interview channel. I'm excited to learn more about the man behind MTV's Catfish and his work on his first feature film called We Are Your Friends with Zac Efron. Have fun while watching!
Hey guys, my name is Max Joseph. I am the co-writer and director of the movie We Are Your Friends. I'm also on this show on MTV called Catfish. I don't know if you've seen it. Maybe some of you have, maybe you haven't. But I'm here to talk about We Are Your Friends. There are some questions. There are some questions here, so I'm going to read them and answer them. Okay, first question. We Are Your Friends is about a young musician trying to find his own voice. How important is mentorship for becoming a great artist? Good question. I think mentorship is really important, and it's hard to find a good mentor. You know, normally people who are very good at the profession that you are trying to be good at yourself if they are very good, they're oftentimes very busy and trying to, they're working on their own career and don't necessarily have time to help you with yours. So I'll wait for the siren to pass by, which is kind of a part of production. Generally, you have to do that because... Sorry, okay. All right, the siren has passed by now. So when I first came to LA about 10 or 11 years ago, I started cutting directors' reels, basically little montages or DVDs. At the time, we were using DVDs. Does anyone know what a DVD is anymore? I was making DVDs for a lot of television directors, and I would take all of their work and I would go through it, and I would cut together a montage of kind of the best scenes and the best moments, and they would send that to producers so that they would get jobs. And the best part about this job was that I got to meet all of these great directors, all television directors, and one of them became my mentor. He was very understanding and cool and nice, and I don't know what it was about me. He invites other young directors he meets too to come to his sets, but he was very inviting, and he told me I could come to any of his sets of any of his shows anytime I wanted, and I took him up on it, and I shadowed him on a number of television shows he directed, and I watched him direct, and we stayed friends, and also when this movie started, I sent him the script, and I asked him what he thought, and he gave me his ideas and feedback, and he's truly my mentor, and it was great to have a mentor. But again, like I said, it's hard to find, and I don't think most people get them. I think a lot of times you just read about mentors or see them in movies. But if you're lucky enough in life and you're open enough, you might find someone who believes in you or wants to pass something on and teach you about stuff. And I think that if you come across someone like that, you should take them up on it, because everyone has something to teach you if you treat them that way. All right, next question. Is that good? All right, cool. Next question. How do you start to create something new and not just imitate something you have read or heard? Another really good question. I think you have to start by imitating. I don't think there's any way around it. I think when you're starting to, whether you're making music or making films or painting or writing or any art form, you'll always end up copying something that you love, your favorite artist or your favorite musician or whatever, and you'll try to make something in that style. And I think that's very exciting at first when you're starting, because you don't know what you want to be or what kind of stuff you want to make, and you kind of want to try it all out, and you should, I think. And if you do it, some things will end up resonating with you, and some things you'll find don't feel as genuine to your experience. I wanted to make really violent, thriller, suspenseful movies like Paul Thomas Anderson or Scorsese, and I've tried it, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel honest for me. And so, lo and behold, that's maybe not the kind of movie that I'm going to make. Maybe one day it will be, but I think you have to try all these things before you find what works for you. But eventually, after you try on all these things, hopefully some things will work and some things won't, and you'll put it all together, and you'll come up with your own weird combination of all the different things you tried, plus some stuff that's just your own, and you'll emerge with this new thing. And by new, it's really just your own weird combination of all these things in the right balance. And that's you. And I think eventually you'll just come to find... And this sounds really pretentious and pedantic, and I'm only 33 and I've only made one film, so what the fuck do I know about anything? But I'm just saying from my experience that, like, I think that whatever you can start making automatically without laboring over it and trying to make it perfect, like whatever just comes out of you eventually just automatically, like that should be something that you lean into and go with and see where it goes. But again, what the fuck do I know? Okay, next question. About what are you most passionate? I'm most passionate about movies and music, but I don't make music. So I'm passionate about like listening to music, and I'm passionate about making movies and watching movies. But I'm pretty passionate about reading books, but it's hard to read books. It's just, where do you find the time to read right now? I just feel like there's so much coming in on the phone and social media, and like, I'm trying to make stuff, and it's just harder and harder to read. But I'm really passionate. I just love music. It just gives me ideas. I love riding my bike listening to music, or walking down the street listening to music, or walking through airports listening to music. I like finding new music. And I'm really passionate about making movies and watching movies. I just have a weird knack for remembering who directed what and who edited what, and it's always a fun game to play. And I also love, during the process of making this movie, I've ended up working with a lot of people who've worked on some of my favorite movies, and like that's always a blast, because like I just asked them, well, what was it like to work on The Big Lebowski, and like how did that thing come about, and like where did you get that idea? And it's really, it's a dream come true to be able to work with those people and ask them, about the things they'd worked on before. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, I'm also passionate about making movies for the internet, because I love putting things out there and seeing people's comments and what they think about it, like instant gratification in real time. I love when things go viral. I love getting hits. It's amazing. You know what I'm talking about. It's like, it's a weird high, and it's an addiction that's hard to shake. And I don't know if making feature films you get the same high. I mean, it's definitely a totally different thing, but like I won't be able to see those view count numbers like going up. There'll be different numbers. Money with dollar signs, I guess. But like, is that the mark of a successful movie? How much money it makes? I don't know. Some people think it is. And it's not bad to make some money as a movie, but like great movies don't make money sometimes. How do you create a good atmosphere on set? I don't know. I mean, it depends how you create a good atmosphere, but it's a great question, because you have to, especially when you're making a small movie, when it's really hot out and everyone's working for nothing, and all you have are people's goodwill. You're not paying them a lot, so even if you are paying them a lot, that still only kind of motivates people so much. If you're a dick, or you're a jerk, or you treat people badly, they'll resent you, and they'll talk shit about you behind your back, and they won't give it their all necessarily. And being a director or a producer is really about like motivating people, especially when you have a crew. And part of it is actually feeding them and feeding them well. You know, if you have good food and you serve it constantly, like biologically, they won't get low blood sugar and they won't get hangry or grumpy, and you'll keep them in a better mood. And then beyond that, you know, you're not like making movies you're not saving lives. I mean, you are, maybe, you know, people love movies and love going to see movies, and it'll renew their lease on life sometimes. But like, you're not a doctor, and you're not performing surgery where the person could die at the end. And it's good to remember that. And even if it's a really stressful moment or a stressful day, like I always this is not war. I have to remind myself, like, this is not war. This is not like brain surgery. Like we're all gonna live. This is a fun thing to do. Of all the things you could be working on in your life, making a movie, you're already lucky to be doing what you're doing, and we should all kind of remember that and smile about that, because we're lucky, and that's a good thing. And then beyond that, like, just I think anyone who's making movies is doing it because movies give them a sense of joy, whether it's watching them or making them. And like, it's important to remember that when you're making them, like, have fun. Like, have fun with your crew, have fun with your actors. Like, you're making make-believe. It's just a childish thing at the end of the day, and it should be fun. And sure, it gets really stressful, but you have to be able to laugh, and then when people do a good job, let them know they did a good job. And you know, on a simple level, people just really want you to know their names. Like, if you're working with a crew, like, learn their names and say their names. And like, it sounds simple, like feeding people, addressing people by their name. But a lot of directors are dicks, and not just directors, but a lot of bosses, get a bad rap for being dicks, and people expect them to be dicks. And if you're not a dick, it gets you very far with creating a good environment on set. Also, I'm not saying that all directors are dicks. All of a sudden now I'm getting into like trouble. It's very hard to direct. There's a lot of stress, and it's very easy to lose your patience and kind of get stressed out and let that stress kind of like flow out onto everyone else and all that stuff. And I understand why directors can be tyrants. It makes a lot of sense. Also, it helps them get stuff done, because like when you're like a tyrant, like, people kind of snap to attention and work harder sometimes. And if that's your style, that's your style. And some directors are great and that's their style. You got to find your own style. I wish I could kind of be a tyrant, but I can't. And I but I spend a lot of time trying to win people over, for better or worse. Now I'm talking too much. All right. Last question. Max, are we ever going to be better than this? Been waiting for that. Very funny. One day, hopefully, I'll be better than this on the next film. No, I think that, every year is better than the year before. You learn a little more about the world and about yourself, and you try to correct things that you don't like, and you try to push yourself in new directions. And I think making mistakes is really important, and we should, especially your 20s are for making kind of as many mistakes as you can without getting yourself killed. And whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So one day we might be better than this. Is today that day? I don't know. You tell me. And that's it. Thank you for your questions. It's been an honor to sit here and talk to you. Check out the movie on August 27th, and then go on social media and tell me what you think. My feelings will be hurt if you don't like it, but I'm a big boy and I can take it. And if you like it, let me know too, because that might make me feel better.
Thanks a lot for your kind words. I really appreciate your positive outlook on life. And so I would like to know your thoughts on this topic. Are we ever gonna be better than this? Please leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any future interview. See you soon!